Hey, welcome back to another update video. We thought we would get on and share a little bit of an update on what we've been doing, what we're going to be doing, and some prayer requests that we'd like for you to help us out with.
Yeah, it's really nice. This is one of the more straightforward update videos we've had in the past couple months. So hopefully this one's a little bit shorter and you know how to pray for us a little bit better. Our big praise is we are coming off of a fantastic missions conference trip in Peoria, Illinois with Calvary Baptist Bible Church. Such a warm, loving, welcoming congregation. Pastor Gary and Miss Joy. By the way, what did you say about that?
Yeah, so if we say Miss or Mr. in front of your name, that's how we refer to you to our kids, because our kids refer to people with Mr. or Mrs. Miss in front of their names.
Because they born and raised in the South.
It's a term of endearment, really, because Logan calls his aunts Miss Joy, Miss Beth, Miss Sue. So, you know, he loves them all.
We love you. So if you happen to hear that from us, that's why.
So this was the first trip that we took with the kids on an airplane. And they did so great. They loved the airplane. They thought it was fun taking off. If you ask Kinley, she goes, I liked it when it goes really fast. So she was very excited about that. The first night that we were there, we got to stay with Sherry Newman. Jeff was not there. He was at council meetings, unfortunately. But they are with Baptist Missions, and their ministry is called Safe Haven, which is a ministry to missionaries to help with if they need counseling or just need a place to stay for a period of time to just kind of decompress from ministry. They're there to really help encourage and strengthen the missionaries in their walk with Christ. So we got to be the first people on deputation to visit them. And from there we went down to Peoria, and we got to stay with Pastor Gary and Miss Joy Gear. And we absolutely loved getting to know their family. The church was amazing. They were so kind, so gracious, very generous people. And they had a full schedule for us. And the other missionaries that we met there were ones we'd never met before. And I feel like we walked away with two really good friends.
What Pastor Gary wanted to get across to the church is missions is so important even today. And it was just really neat to hear stories of veteran missionaries, of missionaries just like us on pre-field ministry, on deputation, raising support, and just kind of mixing all those stories together. And so it was just a really neat opportunity to see all of these worlds collide into one place.
And holy cow, did the people of that church ask some awesome questions. They were on top of it. So Pastor Gary, you're doing a great job with your church.
So that's where we've been, and now it's time to gear up to where we're going. But first, we are going to take a little bit of a family R&R time.
Yes.
And part of our Christmas gift is to head to the North Carolina coast and enjoy some family time with Mandy's side of the family. So we're going to enjoy that before we literally are not really home at all in the month of April.
4 or 5 days. Like Jeff said, we're going to the coast. That was our Christmas present from my side of the family. It's going to be definitely needed right before we go on this big push. We are going to be heading up to Maine, and we have 3 churches in Maine, one in North Jay, one in Farmington, and one in Harrington. And so we get to share EBI with all 3 of those churches, and we're very excited.
Before all of that, we get to be at a pastor's fellowship conference, Eastern New York, just above the city. It's one of those places where if you go any further south to when this town is, you definitely feel like you're in the suburbs of New York City. And if you go any further north, you're just in cow farming country.
Yeah.
So it's like right on the line there. And then there's a lot of really good connections and friends that Mandy and I have in the whole New England area. And while we're not going to be able to even say hi to 50% of the ones that we want to go visit, we are going to try very hard to connect with college friends, lifelong friends that we have. We've now officially, at the beginning of April, been doing pre-field ministry deputation 1 year full time.
Yep.
Which is a huge achievement. God has just been so good in teaching us kind of the ins and outs of traveling with a family, whether by plane or by car, the ins and outs of just meeting newer people at church and different churches all across the United States. So we're really, I think, kind of coming into our own in that and enjoying the process. But Mandy, after Maine, do we have like a 2-week vacation or something?
No.
No, I think it's like, what, 4 days?
Yeah, we get home on the 17th and then we leave like the 21st and we're heading down to Florida. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 meetings in Florida and we are very excited to be going down and spending some time in the state that we're going to eventually live in. But we do get to spend about a week in Sebring with our coworkers. So that will be very fun. Speaking of EBI and our coworkers, they are starting a new project that they are going to be needing some help on.
So essentially the project is we have some brand new children's books that we're looking to publish at EBI. And if you know anything about children's books, now Mandy and I have had kind of a crash course in this because we've got a 5 and a 4-year-old. They are more glossy paper, more of a nicer paper, and most of them are in what?
Full color.
Full color and lots of pictures, which is just very different from just putting words onto a blank piece of paper and flipping it over and just continuing that black and white printing process. We're looking at some of the cost to get some of the first runs of these prints done, and we're looking at about $40,000 worth of a project. And so we're just going to different churches and different individuals and organizations that if you want to be a help in this project, this printing project, to get these gospel-centered children's books into the hands of Spanish-speaking people, we would love for you to join our team in that process as well.
And along with that prayer request, we're going to transition into some prayer requests that we have as a family. So with the being on deputation for 1 year full time, we're still having to make some faith-based decisions. And right now that is for Logan's schooling. And so we are praying as we take some steps to possibly put him into a Christian school next year. Logan thrives in a classroom setting. He loves people, and I think he's going to just explode with knowledge. Pray as we continue to seek guidance on that decision.
We're entering in this stage of support where things are getting real, but not real.
Yeah.
And so we're starting to open a door to some more planning conversations. And obviously with a kiddo starting kindergarten, we need to be thinking ahead, right? And so we're trying to think ahead proactively without trying to put our hand of control over every little detail. Pray for guidance and wisdom for us as we continue to make these decisions, but we just are hoping to be in such good communication with God that we are in step with Him every step of the way. We don't want to get ahead of God, but we want to be right there with Him, ready to roll whenever He is.
Another prayer request is obviously having more funds come in, and we've actually had a few conversations with some people that will probably start supporting us, and so we're really excited to see that support come in and to see, where we're going to be. And we are praying for 50% in April. Not sure if we'll get there, but we are praying that God would provide those funds. And then we're really hoping to be at 70% this fall. God is a big God, and He will obviously do things in His timing, and He can also do things more than we could think or imagine.
So if you're curious about anything that we've talked about, there is going to be an email attached with this video, but also I'll make sure that all of the links of everything that we talked about, whether it's joining our prayer list or the EBI project, different things like that, I'll make sure that's in the video description below for you. And hey, if you just want to follow along our journey and also the podcast that we're getting ready to film another episode on, we'd love if you like and subscribe and follow along. It means a lot to us.
Hit the notification bell so then you know anytime we post, which hopefully will be once a week right now. We'll see.
All right. You guys have a great rest of your March, and we look forward to seeing some of you in Maine or New England in general in April. See ya.